Well, hey guys, what's up? It's your boy, one and only Animation Legends, and yeah guys, today I am back with the next part of what if Naruto was neglected by his family and decided to absorb the powers of Alien X. So yeah guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed the previous part of the series, and if you guys have not seen it, please guys check it out, you guys will definitely like it. And yeah guys, before starting this video, I would like to make a request to all of you guys who are watching this video. If you guys are new to the channel or if you guys have not subscribed yet, please guys do so, it would be very helpful to me as I want to reach 20k subscribers on this channel, and you guys subscribing would be really appreciated. So please guys do so, and yeah guys, please leave some comments in the comment section as that is quite motivational for me. So without any further ado, let's start the video. Last time we left off as we saw that how Naruto has finally decided to start his plan after he had visited the other timelines. His seal was almost complete as Naruto believed that it was time for him to gather the power of the 10 tails, because the 10 tails chakra is gonna required by his Ryujigan for him to reach to the forge of creation, as Naruto decided to, you can say, activate his Rinnegan. After all, not only Naruto does possess the power of the Alien X, he also has possessed the power of other timelines Naruto. Even though Naruto cannot get all of their power, but a fraction of it is still possible, and Otsutsuki Naruto of other timeline was rather powerful. His dojutsu was far superior to the Rinnegan. This was just a watered out version of its power, and that was the power of the Rinnegan, as Naruto decided to summon Gedomazo, while on the other hand, Pain, whose Rinnegan was connected to the Gedomazo, Pain tried his best, but in the end of the day, Naruto was far superior to Pain, so therefore, Gedomazo was now under the control of Naruto, as Naruto directly decided to attack the Sand Village. The Sand Village was taken aback at that when a huge explosion of power took place at the center of their village, and before the shinobis could even react, Naruto was already upon Gaara, as Gaara tried to, you can say, transform into the full state of one tail, while on the other hand, the other shinobis tried to attack Naruto, but with a snap of his finger, he decided to, you can say, take away all the chakra of the Sand Village shinobi, as afterward, Naruto unleashed a small blast of power, thus ending Shikaku, therefore taking the one-tail Jinchuriki with him, as Naruto directly threw Gaara inside the mouth of the one-tail of the Gedomazo, and just like that, the power of one-tail merged with Gedomazo. While on the other hand, Naruto decided to make Alien X looking like clones, therefore sending them into the other villages to gather the tail beasts, while himself decided to launch himself towards the Cloud Village, as the battle between the Raikage and Naruto began, as Naruto toyed with Raikage, who was getting more and more furious, even activating his lightning armor full power and trying to attack Naruto, but Naruto casually played with Raikage, as afterward Naruto activated his Rinnegan and decided to level the entirety of the Cloud Village when Raikage mocked him as a failure, which angered Naruto, as afterward Naruto casually, you can say, dismissed the entirety of the Cloud Village, ending all the shinobis that were present there, as Naruto simply scoffed at that, and finally Raikage attacked Naruto, who was protected by the 8-tailed Jinchuriki, but Naruto casually ended the life of Raikage and throwing his body away and taking control over 8-tail as well as 2-tailed Jinchuriki using his Rinnegan, as afterward Naruto decided to seal the power of 8 tails as well as 2 tails inside of the Gedomazo, while on the other hand Pain and Akatsuki has finally realized that the one who has stolen Gedomazo was none other than Uzumaki Naruto. When all the people heard that, they were taken aback at that, but when his real identity as a fox was heard, they were taken aback at that. After all, Fox was a S-rank shinobi, well considered to be an S-rank, not knowing the extent of his true power, while on the other hand, it was noted that only the 9 tails has been left behind, so Pain decided to capture 9 tails before Naruto can capture him, because Pain believed that Naruto is in competition with him, and he also wanted to revive 10 tails, but Pain could not allow Naruto to do that, so therefore he decided to capture the 9 tails before Naruto can act, while on the other hand, Minato as well as the higher-ups of Konoha also realized that Naruto was the one who has captured all the Bijus, and soon enough he will come for 9 tails as well, shocking everyone that was present there, and they were ready to protect Menma in Mito with their lives. But before that, a explosion took place in Konoha. So yeah guys, that was the last part of the series. So if you guys have not seen it, please guys check it out. So without any further ado, let's start the story. Now, let us start the story from here, as Pain of the Akatsuki and all the members of Akatsuki has decided to attack Konoha before Naruto can make their move. They decided to attack Konoha by by themselves and captured the two Jinchurikis of Nine Tails. Minato as well as Jiraiya, Tsunade, the third Hokage finally arrived to the location where the main force of Akatsuki was present, and Jiraiya was taken aback at that the Rinnegan as he looked towards the leader of the Akatsuki, Pain, who was present there and casually taking care of most of the Jonins who were trying to attack him. As Jiraiya stepped forward, Yahiko stopped as Pain looked towards Jiraiya sensei, I do not have time for this. And just like that, Pain released a powerful Shinra Tensei as everyone was sent flying. Even Minato had to teleport away, while on the other hand, Third Hokage and Jiraiya Tsunade were sent flying because of the gravitational force. But they were able to catch themselves and landed on the ground, while on the other hand, finally a paper appeared. I have found the two Jinchurikis of Nine Tails. They seem to be in that location towards the Hokage office. As Pain eyes narrowed at that, it is time that Konoha know the might of Pain. And just like that, Pain started to float within mid-air as all the members of Akatsuki were fighting against the elites of Konoha. As Pain unleashed a gravitational force so powerful enough that almost tore Konoha in half and slammed into the Hokage office. As Menma and Mito, who were present at the Hokage office, quickly jumped from there and landed in beside Minato and Kushina, who also arrived to join the battle. As Menma started to look around as he has pure anger in his eyes as he glared towards Pain. You have gone too far. How dare you attack Konoha, our village, our home? As Yahiko looked towards Pain. But he simply shook his head at that. I do not have time for this whole argument. You, Jinchuriki of Nine Tails, are coming with me. As Pain decided to use the gravitational force to pull both Menma and Mito towards him, but Uzumaki Kushina decided to intervene in the matter as she quickly brought her chakra chains and grabbing both Menma and Mito. As Pain as narrowed at that as quickly Conan appeared and threw several paper explosive tags towards Kushina, but Kushina also activated her true power as Nine-Tails chakra surrounded her. And as Pain as narrowed at that, he did not knew that Kushina Uzumaki also possessed the Nine-Tails power. All those years ago, when Nine-Tails was extracted from Kushina, there was only one way to save her, and that was to seal a part of Nine-Tails power back inside of her. So therefore, she was able to live, but she only had fraction of his power, and she can only push the power to three tails, no more than that. As Kushina glared towards Pain as well as Conan, I will protect my children. As Pain simply shook his head at that, he doesn't have time for this. He needs to capture the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki. As Minato, Jiraiya, Tsunade, as well as the third Hokage finally arrive, as well as the elites of other clans like Itachi as well as Fugaku finally surrounded the Akatsuki organization. Now that they have taken care of the civilians of Konoha, they were ready to fight against Akatsuki. As Pain started to look towards the elites of Konoha, he must admit the strength of Konoha was truly something else, but he simply shook his head at that. He needs to level Konoha now, otherwise, if Naruto really captured the Nine Tails, then everything would be over. Naruto already possessed the Rinnegan, and his power would definitely surpass Pain's, so therefore, he needs to end this battle now. As Pain started to fly within mid-air, as all the members of Akatsuki looked towards each other, and they quickly disappear from Konoha. Now, all of you shall know Pain. And just like that, Shinra Tensei, as Pain unleashed his full power gravitational force, slamming into Konoha, as everything was utterly destroyed because of the gravitational force. Even Minato could not react fast enough before everything in Konoha was sent flying. As Pain finally landed on the ground, as Minato as well as the elites of Konoha once again appeared, looking around to see utter destruction of Konoha. Minato could not believe his eyes. This was his beloved village, Konoha, and he had sworn to protect it, but everything was destroyed. Just like that, as Minato yelled in anger and decided to use the flying Thundercard technique, it was the first time Minato has lost his, you can say, cool, while on the other hand, Jiraiya also summoned two Toads and was ready to enter into Sage mode. Tsunade activated her seal, Tadokage also summoned his Menma, while on the other hand, Fugaku as well as Itachi activated their respective Mangekyo Sharingans, as the most of Konoha shinobi were able to, you can say, survive. After all, shinobi are still shinobi, but most of them were still dead, as Minato also activated his Sage mode and appeared beside the parts of Pain, while the other members of Akatsuki were also started to fight against most of the elites of Konoha as the battle began. But unknown to all of them, one figure was watching all of it. This was none other than Naruto. He has already appeared in Konoha, and at the moment he was looking towards this so-called battle. Honestly, it was amusing that other Rinnegan bearer. It was nothing to him. The power of the Rinnegan, it was also a means to an end, to control the power of the Ten Tails. Other than that, it means nothing to Naruto. The true power, and that was the power of Alien X that Naruto wanted for himself. As Naruto was looking towards everything, his eyes finally located Menman Mito, who seemed to be put in a barrier by Kushina. It seemed that his beloved mother is quite protective of her children. As Naruto simply shook his head at that, those thoughts has long left his mind. He was no longer jealous of, you can say, favoritism shown by his parents towards his younger siblings. As Naruto was looking towards the battle, as you can say, Jiraiya appeared in front of Pain with a massive Rasengan. Pain, why are you doing this? Are you in leagues with Naruto? What did Naruto offer you? You should not believe his lies. As Pain quickly jumped back from the massive Rasengan, Uzumaki Naruto is a threat to me. He has stolen something very precious from me. As Jiraiya looked towards Pain, Naruto is not here. If you really want him, we can actually work together to capture Naruto. We also have questions for him. As Pain simply shook his head at that. While I am wary of Uzumaki Naruto, I am not here for him. I am here for the two Jinchurikis of Nine Tails. As Jiraiya was taken aback at that. But why, Yahiko? Why are you doing this? As Pain simply looked towards him. I am Pain. And with that, he unleashed gravitational force towards Jiraiya, sending him flying. While on the other hand, most of the parts of Pain were fighting against the elites of Konoha like the third Hokage and Tsunade working together, as most of them were already smashed away, as Pain was also feeling the pressure now, while on the other hand, Naruto has finally seen long enough, as Naruto finally decided to land in Konoha, and just like that, his aura finally emerged and Naruto with massive force slammed into the ground of Konoha as a shockwave erupted as everyone was taken aback. As Naruto finally looked towards everyone as his eyes met with that of Pain for a second, as Naruto finally located the barrier where the Nine-Tailed Jinchuriki were there, as Jiraiya realized where Naruto was looking, as he spoke out, Kushina, protect Menma, Mito, Naruto's here for them, as Kushina, after 8 years, she has seen her son, as she was silent for a second, but when she heard that Naruto was here for Menma and Mito, she was taken aback at that, as she quickly jumped in front of the barrier, while on the other hand, Naruto simply shook his head at that, looking towards the members of the Akatsuki. Naruto simply smirked at that. It seemed that Akatsuki seemed to be here, trying to challenge me. As Pain stepped forward, Uzumaki Naruto, return what you have stolen from me. As Naruto looked towards Pain, and what did I stole from you, Pain? As Pain gritted his teeth at that, do not try to act so ignorant, Uzumaki Naruto. I know that Gatomazo is in your hand. Hand it over to me now. As Naruto simply chuckled at that. Gatomazo, huh? Well, that is something that I require for my future plans. As for you, you're nothing but a pawn in the hands of other. Naruto has gone through many timelines. He has known everything about the plan of Akatsuki, the revival of Kaguya, as well as the power of the Ten Tails and so-called plans of Uchiha Madara. But honestly, compared to the power of Alien X, it is nothing. Once Naruto have the complete power of Alien X, even if the so-called Ususuki god, that Ishiki, as well as that Shibai Ususuke were to come in very flesh and blood, Naruto have the confidence to turn them into blood. Nothing more than that, as Naruto simply scoffed at that, as Naruto simply looked towards him. You know, it has been some time since I had a bit of fun. I thought that Raikage would be fun, but in the end of the day, he was nothing but a weakling. So why don't you amuse me? And with that, Naruto simply smirked as all Konoha shinobi who were fighting against the members of Akatsuki could feel that they have lost control over their bodies as they casually started to walk towards the forces of Konoha. Even Minato, who was in sage mode, was looking confused. What is going on here? Wasn't Naruto an enemy as well? Is he here to protect Konoha? What is going on here? As Naruto simply smirked at that, as Naruto simply separated the forces of Konoha from the forces of Akatsuki, as Naruto simply smirked at that. Now the fun begins. As Naruto disappeared, and within seconds he was in the midst of Deidara and Sasori. Before Sasori can bring out the third Raikage's puppet, Naruto already had his hand pierced through the chest of Sasori, crushing his human heart. Just like that, Sasori turned into pure puppet, while on the other hand, Deidara unleashed his clay birds towards Naruto. But Naruto simply smirked at that, unleashing a gravitational force, slamming into Deidara, sending him flying as well as destroying his birds. But Naruto's gravitational force was far greater than Pain's, and just like that, Deidara was crushed into pure meat, while on the other hand, Naruto looked towards the other members of Akatsuki as Naruto appeared in front of Hidan and unleashed a blast of pure power, turning his body into atoms and therefore ending his existence, while on the other hand, Kakazo tried to run away, but Naruto also grabbed him using his gravitational force, separating all of his hearts and you can say snapping his finger and thus turning them into ash. And just like that, Kakazu also turned into a pure mummy. While on the other hand, Naruto looked towards Pain and smirked at that other parts of Pain were already destroyed. And Pain also realized that he has to take Naruto seriously, and Naruto has not even activated his Rinnegan just yet. Realizing the threat, as Pain decided to use his most powerful technique, and that was Chibaku Tensei. And just like that, he unleashed a gravitational center in the center of Konoha and threw it into the sky. And just like that, a gravitational force started to slam into the rubbles that were around them and trying to make a fake moon. As Naruto simply looked towards the gravitational force that were trying to capture him, but Naruto simply laughed at that as Naruto simply clapped his hand together. And just like that, the moon that was being formed turned into a flattened form, and Naruto simply pointed his hand towards that small moon and threw it towards Pain, as Pain started to grit his teeth and unleashed his gravitational force towards the fake moon. But the fake moon was growing faster and faster as Pain cursed under his breath, and just like that, his Deva path was utterly crushed because of the fake moon's pressure and gravity, as Naruto simply snapped his finger, and just like that, the fake moon exploded with the gravitational and explosive force, turning the whole body of Devapart into dust. As Naruto simply shook his head at that, Pain was simply far too weak. These people were truly no match for him. But once he has the power of Alien X, even that Shibai Ususuke, who is hiding far away, will not be a threat to him. As Naruto simply walked towards the other members of Akatsuki, as Obito tried to activate his Kamui to run away, but one of Naruto's eyes turns into Ryujigen. His eye controlled the time flow as well as space-time ability, so therefore all the space-time was constricted in this area, as Obito, who was trying to run away, could feel that his connection to his Kamui dimension was cut off so rapidly. As Obito's eyes widened at that, he tried to use hollow ability of his Sharingan, but that was not working as well, as Naruto simply smirked at that. Well then, Uchiha Obito, why don't you show your face to your sensei and let him be proud of you? As Obito was taken aback at that, Minato, who was watching the whole battle, also realized that this masked man was the one who unleashed Kyuubi all those years ago. He was ready to make a move against him as well, but when he heard the name Uchiha Obito, Kakashi, who was on the side as well, was taken aback at that. Naruto moved with rapid speed, and with a casual move, Naruto shattered the mask of Obito, as Obito's ugly face was in front of everyone. As Kushina gasped at that, she could not believe her eyes. How is this even possible? As Obito, who was silent for a second, burst into laughter. Uzumaki Naruto, you truly are a menace. Who knew that you knew such a secret as well? As Naruto simply scoffed at that. In your eyes, it may be a big secret, but in my eyes, it is nothing more than a mockery. All of this for a woman, for a girl who doesn't even love you. Tell me, Uchiha Obito, after having the Rinnegan, why didn't you revive your beloved Rin Nohara? Is it not because you know deep down that if Rin is truly revived, she will love Kakashi? And as for you, you can only have her in your dreams. So you wanted everyone to dream together. Isn't that right, Obito? As Obito was silent for a second as he glared towards Naruto, die, as he rushes towards Naruto, but Naruto simply did not even move as Obito was stopped within mid-air. As Naruto simply smirked at that, I never bothered to use my Ryujigan other than the purposes I like to use it, but today I'm gonna use one of its ability. I also want to know what you can truly do about it. As Obito, before can say anything, Naruto's Ryujigan activated and it started to rotate faster and faster. As Obito, who was confused for a second, his eyes widened, he could feel it, his vitality, it was withering rapidly. As Obito, who was only 30 years old, started to age rapidly within seconds, 40, 50, 60, 70, and just like that, a young man turned into an old man. As Obito was already on his knees, he was almost at the age of 90. As Naruto simply smirked at that, looking toward this old man, Naruto casually walked towards him, ready to end his life. Stop, Naruto! As Naruto looked towards the figure, as Kakashi was running towards Naruto with Chidori in his hand, trying to save his old friend, as Naruto simply smirked at that and moved back his foot as Kakashi quickly grabbed Obito and jumped away, as Naruto simply chuckled at that. What a beloved friendship. I believe that you and Obito were true love, and Rin Nohara was nothing more than a distraction, as Naruto simply chuckled at that. Naruto was completely surrounded by the elites of Konoha as Minato looked towards this son he had abandoned all those years ago. He believed that Menma's potential was greater than that of Naruto's, and he also wanted to protect Menma, so therefore he decided to give the title of the heir of the Uzumaki Namikaze clan to Menma, but now looking towards Naruto, so powerful, beyond powerful, able to kill off all the Akatsuki members who had utterly destroyed Konoha like it was nothing. On top of that, he has also ended the one who unleashed Kyuubi all those years ago. Minato still could not believe that it was still his old disciple, Uchiha Obito, but he had also realized that Uchiha Obito must have done all of it for Rin. When Naruto first said the name of Rin, he had also realized many things as Minato looked towards Naruto with a complicated expression on his face. Naruto, stop it all. You are the elder of Konoha, and I have questions to ask you. Why did you capture all the bijus of the other villages? Do you not realize that you could start a war? As Naruto simply looked towards Minato, do you honestly believe that I care about the title of the elder of Konoha? It was nothing more than I did in my usual time. Yes, Tadukage, speak up. Danzo, is he not under your control, Naruto? You're the one who's controlling him from the shadows. As Naruto simply smirked at that, that rat in the gutter actually thought that I would be his personal weapon, and also put that slave-like seal on me. It was quite a mockery. I wanted to see what would be like I controlling him and he becoming a slave. That was quite a good experience, I must say. As Tadukage gritted his teeth at that, while in many matters Danzo may have gone overboard, but you do not have any right to control Danzo. And now it's time for you to surrender, Naruto. Unleash your control over Danzo, and we will show mercy to you. As Naruto simply chuckled at that and turned into full-blown laughter. Do you honestly believe that I care about the so-called title of Konoha Shinobi, the so-called title of Root Leader, and the title of the Elder of Konoha? Honestly, those things are nothing more than amusement for me. My goal is the power of the Ten Tails for me to achieve my ultimate goal. As Minato looked towards Naruto with a complicated expression on his face. Naruto, why are you doing this? What do you want? Why do you want the power of nine-tailed beasts? As Naruto simply smirked at that, well, it would not hurt for me to tell you. Well, let me tell you a tale, my dearest father. As Naruto looked towards Minato and activated his dojutsu, do you see these eyes of mine? As Minato looked towards this strange clock-like symbol in the eyes of Naruto, is it a Kekkei as Minato said to Naruto with, you can say, a strange expression on his face? Yes, I activated this Kekkei when I was 8 years old. Well, even before that, I can use it subconsciously. This specially Kekkei, it gives me powers, time related, timelines, different universes. I can watch them, I can experience them, the other worlds, the other version of myself. I can have their experience, their jutsu, all of their knowledge. Once I merge with them, I can have their abilities and powers thanks to this dojutsu of mine. When everyone heard that, they were taken aback at that. A dojutsu that let you see other timelines as well as other universes. They were all taken aback at that. But not only that, I was able to see other universes different than the universes beyond this one. The powers that lies in those universes. I saw one power so great that can alter the very fabric of reality. Power so great that can end the universe with a snap. Power so great that can even recreate a universe from nothing. And that was the power of a being that I want for myself. When everyone heard that, they were taken aback at that. For me to reach that realm, I require the power of all nine-tailed beasts. Once I take it for myself, I will use all of that chakra to make a portal and reach to that realm where that being is waiting for me. And once I have his power, I shall be the supreme ruler of this universe. No, the entirety of the multiverse. And with that, Naruto bursts into laughter. Can you see this power? I have only gained a fraction of its power. It is still being born, not fully developed. That is the reason I am in a bit of hurry before it is fully formed and needs to absorb its powers. So step aside, and I shall leave all of you alive, as everyone could not believe their eyes if there is such a being, and Naruto wants to take such a being's power for himself. No, they have to stop him no matter what, as Naruto simply smirked towards them. So, you want to stop me, huh? Well, I also want to show you some of my powers, so why don't you guys bring it on? As Naruto simply looked towards all of these people, Minato finally brought out his kunai. Naruto, I have to stop you. The power alone will not bring you peace. We should all work together and strive to achieve peace. That is the true meaning of power, and I shall stop you right here and right now. As Naruto simply chuckled at that, you will never understand the power of Alien X. Only I, who has seen its true potential, can truly know what truly lies within this world and beyond it. So, one last opportunity, step aside and hand over Menman and Mito to me. Otherwise, things will not end for any one of you. As Minato finally closes his eyes and opens them once again, entering into the sage mode and rushing towards Naruto, as Naruto simply shook his head at that. So be it. As Naruto started to walk towards the barrier, as Minato threw his massive Rasen Shuriken towards Naruto, but Naruto did not even bother to move as a barrier appeared around Naruto, deflecting the Rasen Shuriken towards Jiraiya, as Jiraiya quickly jumped out of the way as a huge explosion took place as Naruto was walking towards the barrier, while Minato as well as everyone started to attack Naruto, but to their utter shock, Naruto had turned into, you can say, just like Uchiha Obito's technique. No one can touch him, while on the other hand, Naruto was still walking towards the barrier, in which Menma and Mito were waiting for him, as Kuchina was the last line of defense as she stepped forward, looking towards Naruto with a complicated expression on her face. Stop it, Naruto. You have to stop it now. I know that we had wronged you. I know that we had abandoned you all those years ago, and I'm sorry for it. There is no day that has passed that I did not feel guilt towards you, Naruto, but you have to end it now. You cannot have Menma and Mito. As Naruto simply scoffed at that. You do not understand me, Kushina. As for you, I do not even give a damn about you. For a long time, my only goal is the power of the Alien X, and I shall have it for myself and for you and for all these insects. It is only my mercy that is keeping all of you alive. Perhaps you did not hurt me earlier. I already have a fraction of its power, which means that I can do this. With that, Naruto moved his hand as Minato, Jiraiya, Tsunade, everyone stopped in time, as if it was a time lock. Even Kushina was stopped in midst of her, you can say, rambling, as they can still see Naruto, but they try to move, but they were unable to do anything. Looking around, they can see that even the world has come to a stop, as Naruto simply smirked at that and finally appeared beside the barrier, as Naruto grabbed the barrier and with a small tear, it shattered. As Naruto simply looked towards his beloved sibling, while on the other hand Mito stepped forward. Naruto, stop! I shall stop you right here and right now. As Naruto simply scoffed at that, Mito, it has been some time. You are always different than Menma, though not much better. So I will give you one last opportunity. Come with me. I shall only take the power of Nine Tails, and using my own abilities, I will keep you alive. This is the only mercy I am willing to show you, since you share my blood. So, what is your choice? As Mito grated her teeth at that, I will stop you. Alright, Mito, do not worry, I will be the one stopping him now. As Menma stepped forward, but Naruto's eyes narrowed at that. Something is off with Menma, because his eyes were no longer blue, but rather a strange yellow color. As Menma simply smirked at that, he activated the Sage of Six Paths, you can say, chakra mode, as Naruto's eyes narrowed at that, but then a smirk came to his face. So that old sage decided to intervene in the matter. Well, it doesn't matter. Why don't you show yourself as well, Uchiha? And just like that, a portal appeared from this. Uchiha Sasuke also stepped forward with his, you can say, moon symbol in his hand, while Menma had the sun symbol in his hand. As he looked towards Naruto, Sage of Six Paths has already explained us the reality of the shinobi world, Naruto. The power of Kaguya is great. I cannot allow you to revive the Ten Tails and Kaguya. As Naruto looked towards Menma, but then he started to smirk at that and started to chuckle and burst into laughter. Perhaps in the barrier, you did not hurt me, huh? The power of Ten Tails, the power of Kaguya, the power of Susuke, these are nothing compared to the power of Alien X. That is something that I require. The power of Ten Tails is nothing more than a means to an end. And as for Kaguya, I shall deal with her as well later. But as for you two insects, I will handle you now. As Naruto stepped forward as Menma and Sasuke disappeared, trying to grab him at the same time and trying to seal him away, using the power of, you can say, Sage of Six Parts, but Naruto simply scoffed at that. His power is already greater than the Sage of Six Parts, and that is only the power of, you can say, his normal self, beside the power of Alien X, which he had gained from baby Alien X. As Naruto grabbed the arms of both Menma and Sasuke and started to rotate at rapid speeds, and threw them at such force that both Sasuke and Menma were sent flying in the opposite direction. As Naruto looked towards Mito, who had entered into the four-tail state, as Naruto simply scoffed at that and appeared in front of Mito, slamming his face into the gut of Mito, knocking her out. As Naruto grabbed her, suddenly Menma appeared with a massive Rasen Shuriken in his hand, and unleashed the Rasen Shuriken towards Naruto, but Naruto casually moved his hand, and his hand turned into the same material as the Alien X, and grabbing the Rasen Shuriken and throwing it in the opposite direction as if it was a true Shuriken, the direction in which Sasuke had just appeared. As Sasuke's eyes widened at that, the Rasen Shuriken was already upon him. He had to activate the Rinnegan ability to substitute himself with the nearby rock. As Sasuke grated his teeth at that, as Naruto made a clone and threw the Mito towards the clone, as the clone disappeared, as Menma spoke up, "Mito, no! Naruto, you have gone too far. Bring me back, Mito," as he rushes towards Naruto, as Naruto simply smirks at that. "It will take some time. After all, it is only the one half of 9 tails. So I will only play with you till the 10 tails is truly prepared." As Naruto simply smirked at that and started to dance with both Menma and Sasuke. It was, you can say, completely one-sided. Menma and Sasuke were trying their best, even though they had gained the power of the Sage of Six Parts. But what is even Sage of Six Parts compared to the power of Alien X? As Naruto casually was, you can say, jumping between Menma and Sasuke and mocking them at the same time, as both of them were now getting frustrated. "Menma, do it now!" As Menma activated his, you can say, 9 tails form, as Sasuke jumped inside of the 9 tails and activated his Susanoo, as Menma opened his mouth and started to use the Bijudama, as Sasuke also started to channel all his power inside of this Bijudama and finally unleashed it towards Naruto, as Naruto simply yawned at that and moved his hand, grabbing the huge Bijudama that was coming towards him and shrinking it at the size of a, you can say, small pill and turning it into a, you can say, strawberry. As Naruto said, "Yummy." As Naruto used the power of Alien X and turning the power of, you can say, the huge Bijudama into a strawberry and eating it away. As Naruto simply chuckled at that, "You do not even realize what kind of power I truly hold and what kind of power I want to achieve. The Sage of Six Parts, Kaguya Ususuke, Shibai Ususuke, nothing more than insects. And I do not require the power of chakra." As Naruto simply started to walk towards Sasuke and Menma, who are now truly scared of the power Naruto truly holds. That attack possessed at least 50% of their full power, and Naruto casually dealt with it like it was nothing, and they were truly scared of Naruto now. While on the other hand, there was a huge surge of chakra as a roar of a beast was heard, as Naruto simply smiled at that. It seemed that time has arrived for him to achieve his goal, the goal he was waiting for all those years. As Naruto simply smiled at that, it seemed that the time is over, boys. And it is time for me to take my prize, as Naruto simply smirked at that and started to walk away from Menma and Sasuke, as both Menma and Sasuke looked towards each other. "Sasuke, we have to do it now." As Sasuke simply nodded at that, as both Menma and Sasuke rushes towards Naruto, trying to stop him from reaching the 10 tails. As Naruto looked towards, as Menma even activated his, you can say, sexy jutsu, trying to distract Naruto and trying to seal him away using the power of Moon and Sun in their respective hands. But Naruto simply ignored such a technique and unleashed a gravitational force, slamming into all the clones of Menma and dispelling them. As Naruto looked towards Menma, "You know, you're quite a nuisance. My prize is waiting for me, so step away." As Menma simply scoffed at that, "I will never allow you to have that kind of power. I shall stop you right here and right now. Power alone is not everything, Naruto. I know that you're jealous of me and Mito, but you have to accept the reality." As Naruto simply chuckled at that, jealous of you. You do not even realize that what kind of power I truly possess, Menma. And as for your so-called parents, you can have them to yourself. I do not even care about it. As Naruto slapped his hand together, he has more than enough of Menma and Mito. It is time that he put an end to this all. After all, 10 days is already revived, though it is transforming into his final stage, so Naruto is giving it a bit more time so that it can gather all of its full potential, so that Naruto can finally use its power to open the portal of the Forge of Creation. As Naruto simply smirked towards Menma and Mito, ready to end it all. Suddenly, Naruto's eyes narrowed at that when he felt something, and suddenly ground started to shatter as two powerful, you can say, coffins appeared from the ground. As Naruto's eyes narrowed at that, what is going on here? He felt it, something from the other world had intervened, and suddenly the coffins were opened and two figures started to come out of the coffin. When Naruto looked towards them, he cursed under his breath, even though these people are nothing more than nuisance in his eyes, but they were definitely a nuisance, as these were none other than Hashirama Senju and Uchiha Madara. The Sage of Six Paths himself has intervened and decided to use the power of, you can say, Orochimaru to summon these two people here as Orochimaru appeared behind them with a blank look on his face. It seems that Orochimaru has used the White Zetsu as a sacrifice to revive these two people as Hashirama and Madara finally came to their original consciousness. As Madara looked around wondering if he was revived, but he looked towards his hand and then looked towards his old friend Hashirama. As Madara's eyes narrowed at that, what is the reason for him to be revived in the reanimation? But quickly Uchiha Madara sensed it as he looked towards a specific direction. This is the power of Ten Tails, which means that his plans are still going accordingly. As Uchiha Madara smirked at that, now he only needs to revive himself permanently using the power of the Rinnegan and thus becoming the Ten Tails Jinchuriki, and then he can activate his infinite Tsukiyomi. While Hashirama Senju started to look around wondering where he was, but he quickly noticed that he was in Konoha. As Hashirama started to wonder what is going on here, but quickly, you can say, Menma realizing that this was the help from Sage of Six Paths started to spoke up. Hey, old man, I am the son of Okage and we are on Konoha side. This guy is the enemy. He's trying to capture us and trying to take the power of Ten Tails for himself. When Uchiha Madara heard that, his eyes narrowed towards Naruto. It seemed that they have met with the competition, or could it be that this guy was one of the helpers of Obito? As Uchiha Madara was confused about it, but he quickly noticed something. The location of a seal which he planted at the heart of Obito. As he looked towards the direction and he saw an old man. As Uchiha Madara was confused, wondering if so many years has passed since his dad, but he quickly noticed Kakashi Hatake, as well as, you can say, the previous 90th Jinchuriki, who seemed to be rather young but seemed to be frozen as if they were frozen in very time fabric. As Uchiha Madara's eyes narrowed at that, could it be a forbidden technique? Wondering if Obito had used some forbidden technique which aged him so much, but he quickly shook his head at that. Now that he was revived, he will take control of the power of Ten Tails and activate his infinite Tsukiyomi. While on the other hand, Naruto's eyes narrowed at that. So many nuisances. His prize was already waiting for him. All he has to do is to get to the Ten Tails and everything would be his. As Naruto simply scoffed at that, enough of this disturbance. Now I shall take care of every one of you. And with that, Naruto started to float within mid-air and moved his finger as immense power started to gather in Naruto's one finger. At least the power 10 times the amount of Bijudama of Ten Tails. When everyone saw the surge of power in Naruto's finger, they were taken aback at that as Hashirama Senju clapped his hand together as a wooded dragon appeared and rushes towards Naruto. And while on the other hand, Uchiha Madara activated his Susanoo and trying to slam his sword into Naruto, trying to end him. But Naruto finally unleashed a beam of pure power towards Hashirama and Madara as a huge explosion of power took place, almost shattering the Konoha ground. As Naruto looked towards these reanimations, but it seemed that they seemed to be coming together, truly nuisance. And it seemed that that sage from the Pure Land is protecting these two people. But Naruto simply ignored that fact as he decided to leave to reach to the Ten Tails. But Naruto's eyes narrowed at that. When Uchiha Madara's body turned into pure dust and disappeared. As Naruto was confused for a second, but he quickly looked in a direction. After 10 days, something is off, something is interfering with his prize. As Naruto disappeared from the location and appeared where the 10 tails seemed to be disappearing, and one figure was standing in place of the 10 tails. Naruto could not believe his eyes. This was none other than Uchiha Madara. But how? Uchiha Madara, when revived, decided to use his substitution technique and wood clones to disappear from there when Naruto was ignoring him. And afterward, he quickly found Pain and decided to force him to revive him. And afterward, he took the Rinnegan of Pain and decided to absorb the power of 10 tails to become the Jinchuriki of the 10 tails. As Uchiha Madara burst into laughter, finally he was revived, and the power of 10 tails was already his. As Uchiha Madara looked towards his hand, so this is the power of the sixth part. Truly, I am the one superior to everyone in the shinobi world. As you look towards Naruto, I must say, kid, your power, it is great. Tell me, are you a helper of Obito? As Naruto looked towards Madara with pure murderous intent, that prize belongs to me, and you have gone too far, Uchiha Madara. Do not believe even for a second that the power of 10 tails will protect you. As Uchiha Madara scoffed at that. So, you are a competitor. Well, it doesn't matter to me. Now that I have this power, I shall show you the difference between you and I. With that, Uchiha Madara rushes towards Naruto, ready to show him the difference. As Uchiha Madara's face slammed into the face of Naruto, as a huge explosion of power took place. But when the dust finally settled down, Naruto was standing there, not even a scratch on his face, while Uchiha Madara, who had a smile on his face, the smile froze. As Naruto looked towards Madara with pure murderous intent in his eyes, never in his whole life he was so angry at anyone. This guy had the audacity to take away his prize. That is his prize. He was waiting for this moment for such a long time. But damn it, it seemed that villains truly fall because of too much talking. He should have just taken away Menma and Mito and revived the Ten Tails and used his power, but he almost, you can say, lost himself in the whole battle and the whole fun which he was having fighting against this weakling, showing off his power. It seemed that a part of Fair boy, who wanted to be, you can say, superior to everyone, has not died completely in him. As Naruto closes his eyes and finally opened them, and his Ryujigan was now fully activated. He was ready to end it all and take the 10 tails because this prize is truly waiting for him. As Naruto simply smiled at that. But hey guys, I'm gonna end this part here. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. For the next part, the like goal is gonna be, let's say about it. 100 likes and 20 comments. Do that and I shall upload the next part as soon as possible. Who knows, it could even be today. So it is mainly up to you guys. So yeah guys, see you soon. Peace.